Proverbs chapter 8 talks about wisdom's call for a hearing. Basically, wisdom crying out for us to pay attention to it. So it starts off by saying, "Listen as wisdom calls out. Hear me as understanding raises her voice. On the hilltop along the road, she takes her stand at the crossroads. Listen to me, for I have important things to tell you. Everything I say is right, for I speak the truth and detest every kind of deception. My advice is wholesome. There is nothing devious or crooked in me. The words are plain to anyone with understanding, clear to those with knowledge. Choose my instruction rather than silver, and knowledge rather than pure gold. For wisdom is far more valuable than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with it. I, wisdom, live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. Therefore, I hate pride and arrogance, corruption and perverse speech. Common sense and success belongs to me. Insight and strength are mine. Because of me, kings reign and rulers make just decrees. Rulers lead with my help and nobles make righteous judgments. I love all who love me. Those who search will surely find me. I have riches and honors, as well as enduring wealth and justice. My gifts are better than gold, even the purest gold. My wages are better than silver. I walk in righteousness, in paths of justice. Those who love me inherit wealth, will fill their treasuries." So here it's a call, right? It's an alert saying, hey, wisdom, I'm trying to make you understand that all that I have is pure, that it's good, it's meant to help you, and these are the consequences of it. It's like, say you have a really good tool, a really good present for someone, and you know that thing that you have in your hand will help this individual, but they don't want to take it. It's like you start getting desperate, saying, hey, just take it and use it, and it's going to help, I promise you. That is what wisdom is doing. So I looked up wisdom on Google. What is wisdom? So wisdom, it starts talking about its good judgment, its insight, it's basically everything that the Bible is describing. But I also liked another definition that it had. It says it is the principles and knowledge of what makes up society. So if we apply that in our lives, right, it is the principles and knowledge of what makes us followers of Christ. Because divine wisdom only comes from above, only comes from God. And what does wisdom do, right? It allows kings to make good judgment. It gives you common sense and discernment. It allows you to make good decisions. Some of us have these desires, these great plans to have a business, to be very, very successful in school, to become a doctor, to become a lawyer, to become whatever your heart desire is, right? And sometimes you feel stuck because you're like, I don't know how to do this. Or starting a business is hard, and you're like, I don't even know what step to take. All we need to do is cry out to God to give us that wisdom and knowledge and ability to be able to do this. And by doing that, you're placing God at the center of it. If you guys remember in the book of Luke, we studied this, how God multiplied the fish and the bread. How much fish and bread did they have? Not very many, not enough to feed the multitude. But what did the disciples do? They gave the fish and the bread to Jesus. What did Jesus do? He blessed it and he multiplied it. If we give our desires, our goals to God, our business propositions, our desire to finish top in school, our desire to wanting to get into a specific school, and we ask God, hey Lord, this is my dream, this is my goal, this is what I have, here you go. God will bless it and multiply according to his will. He will either tell you, go forward or stop, or you know what, let me redirect you to this area, or you know what, keep on going straight, keep on going in the path that you're going. But the beauty of that is by trusting God, by placing our trust in him, we know that we will be okay regardless of the response, regardless of what happens. Why? Because our trust is in him. It's no longer in the goal. It's no longer in the depths to get to that goal. It's in him now. And when it's in him, we know that all plans work good for those who love the Lord. And by you trusting God, you're loving the Lord. Because again, how I've told you guys in the past, there's no way that you will ever trust someone that, first of all, you don't know, and second of all, that you don't have some affection towards. If you don't love the person, you're not going to trust them. That's just weird. So if we love the Lord, we're going to trust him. And when we trust him, we start giving him our goals. We start giving him our desires. We start giving him all the things that we want to accomplish to him. And again, what happens when we place things in his hands? It gets multiplied. It gets blessed. And the Lord knows best. If something is not good for us, then he's going to redirect us to give us something even better than we could have ever imagined. And it continues on in verses 22 all the way to 31. It becomes very poetic and starts talking about the origin of it, which I highly recommend you guys to read it. And then next verses, it says, "Listen to my instructions and be wise. Don't ignore it. Joyful are those who listen to me, watching for me daily at my gates, waiting for me outside my home. For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord." It's by placing God at the center of all of our desires, at the center of all of our projects, at the center of everything that forms us. When we place God at the center, he blesses us, and he gives us joy, and he gives us peace. We no longer have to be suffering of anxiety and freaking out like, Lord, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what steps to take. Why? Because you have placed it in his hands. You have placed the control in his hands. And it's no longer in your hands to be able to manipulate and to be able to move and change. It's in his hands. So all we need to do is to rest in him. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for chapter 9. Keep warm because it is rather chilly. See you guys tomorrow.